this is the Miss Volfie from our half-acre homestead. It's getting to that time where I'm starting to feel the need to do crafty stuff for Christmas. And I'm sorry about the background noise. I got my washing machine going, I got my dishwasher going. But I saw this on Facebook and I thought it was really, really cool. So we are going to make decorative covers for our mini lights for the Christmas tree. And what you're going to need is you're going to need some little balloons, the kind that you would use for like the little water balloon things. If you like, this is optional. You're going to need some glitter. You're going to need some Mod Podge. Now if you don't have Mod Podge, go ahead and mix good clear drying white glue with 50% water, 50% glue, and then add some Deco clear drying varnish, okay? Or you can use the white glue and the water mixture and just spray varnish it over top. You're going to need some white cotton, butcher string will do, and a little cup. All right, so first, let's start with the balloons. We're gonna blow these up however big you want, but you kind of want them round and you kind of want them, I don't know, a little smaller than a tennis ball but bigger than a ping pong ball. See, that would be too big for me. And it's an egg shape. We want these round, which is about right. Some balloons, and I've got them just in a canning, like a canning cardboard box that I put plastic grocery bags over, because this is going to be a wet situation for a bit. And you're going to want a blow dryer too, unless you're willing to wait for them to dry, which I am not. Now I've got a little plastic cup here, and I've got my crochet cotton. Like I said, plain butcher string will do. And I'm going to loosely wrap some yarn around my hand, like that. And I'm going to pour some Mod Podge over top. Okay, so I've tried this a couple of different ways, and it seems to be the best way is I've drawn out the yarn across my leg here so that it doesn't tangle. I've cut off however much I think I'm going to need. I'm adding some glitter right to the cup, and I will pour some Mod Podge over it. Now this is a messy project, folks, and don't go crazy with the Mod Podge. You don't need a lot. I'm going to take my little balloon and I'm going to start by dipping the one end. Now I'm just going to draw the glue or the string through the glitter Mod Podge for about 18 inches at a time. You don't want too much on the balloon because you want the holes to be visible. And I'm starting to think you could use, you know what, you could probably use colored, Christmas colored yarn, glitter yarn, anything like that. I'm just using string because, well, I've got yarn, but I save that for knitting. Just remember to cover your string every 18 inches or so that it's always covered. Make sure my ends are glued down and into our plastic lined box. Okay, so we'll be back when I have all these balloons covered. Using red yarn now, and there's one thing I figured out is the thicker the yarn, it can be more difficult to work with actually. But you want to use, especially with the thicker yarn, you want to squeeze out as much of the glue as you can, and don't be afraid to wrap your balloons fairly tight. They're not going to break unless they come in contact with a sharp object. Now I'm going to make a little slip knot here. It's another thing I learned after about 8 of these. And I'm going to tie it around that little top of the balloon, just to kind of anchor it in place. See, this balloon's already a slippery mess because I forgot to squeeze out that first bit. And I'm going to wipe this off. Anchor it with your fingers while you can. Another reason you don't want excess glue is because it will coat the balloon, and you want holes, not windows of glue. Do not attempt this if you don't like sticky things on your fingers. I hate sticky things on my fingers, but I like crafts. Another thing about the thicker thread, it's going to take longer to dry. Okay, now that the glue is dry, we're just going to pop the balloons. And they're not really going to pop right away because they're held together by glue. See how that just shrunk and pulled away? You just dig through here with a toothpick. Grab a piece of the balloon and pull it out. Where am I hearing it shrink? That one. You can actually hear it shrink. You got to be careful though, because you can crush these. They're not, you know, hard. Okay, so I let these dry overnight, and there is still some glue residue, but you know what? That's not a big deal because obviously it dries clear. So now what we're going to do is, I didn't make enough for a whole string of mini lights. I made enough for a small one, but I wanted to show you these in color. I'm going to use, now you can make that so that they'll just slip right over the mini light, but I want them to hold into place. So I'm going to use some tinsel pipe cleaner. Slip my light through the hole, and I'm just going to actually twist tie this with the tinsel, just like that. Now if this looks nice, and I have a feeling it's going to, I'm going to probably try and make enough to finish this whole string later on. Okay, so let's go plug them in and see how they look. Probably not going to show up very bright because it's daytime and I have a skylight right here, but let's have a look. Oh wow! Isn't that pretty? Oh, I like that. This is the Mrs. Volfie from our half-acre homestead saying, if you've got an old set of mini lights and some string and some glue, you can really do some nice decorating. Take care. Bye-bye.